Hey, everybody, you're listening to Flyover Country 97.9 and 96.3 The Marshall. We are coming to you live. I am Kristina, and I have country artist Cameron Havens on the phone with me. How are you, Cameron?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, for people who don't know who you are, who is Cameron Havens?
I am 25. I'm from Hazlet, Texas, which is just outside of Fort Worth. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, though now. Um, and yeah, I'm an independent country singer-songwriter. I think right now, especially with a little one, I identify mostly as a dad. but but yeah, I write songs kind of Monday through Thursday here in Nashville, and then I tour out on the weekend.
Awesome. So, when did you kind of have an interesting story when you first started playing? I've read somewhere. And so, you started playing guitar and writing music when you were a teenager, right?
I did, yeah. I was born with a congenital heart defect called transposition of the great vessels. And so I had an open heart surgery kind of when I was a day or two old, and then I had to have another one at 13. And when you're in school, when you have that, you have to miss like 6 weeks of school.
Mm.
Um, so my mom got me a guitar, and my uncle, who was living with us at the time, played guitar, and so we would just kind of like sit up all night playing, and he was teaching me songs, um, and then it kind of took off from there.
So, do you feel like that was, I mean, it was an outlet for you, right? I mean, during that tough time, I would think that would be an outlet.
For sure, our family's always been really big into music, but just having a thing, for some kids it was baseball or,
Hmm.
you know, maybe riding a dirt bike or something like that. It's that thing that you find that you're like, I know that I'm supposed to do this, and it's all you want to do with your time. I mean, I would sit from when I woke up till I went to bed, just playing on the guitar and, singing songs I loved and things like that. I mean, it would the entire day.
Hmm. So, when you started playing, and do you think I mean, you picked it up quick? Did you play any other instruments?
No, I can play piano for like 4 minutes and make you think I know what I'm doing, but after that, you're like always full of it.
Well, it's more than I can do. And
But yeah,
yeah,
just guitar and sing.
yeah, and you write your own stuff.
I do, yes, ma'am.
And is it something that when you write, is that just for you, or do you ever think you'll sell your songs? I mean, is that something, or is it personal?
No, I kind of the way I look at it is if something's really true to me, like the songs I've recorded have been songs that really mean a lot to me, or I feel like really fit what I'm going for. But not every song does that. I
Hmm.
write songs full time in Nashville as well as being a touring artist. So I don't have any cuts that are out yet, but there's a really great artist named Brian Martin who his song
Oh
right now is
yes.
"We Ride."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did not write "We Ride," but I do have a song on that record,
Oh, you do.
which, and then I've had some other close ones. Sometimes I've had artists put songs on hold, and then they don't always make the record. As a matter of fact, usually they don't. But um,
It's coming. It's
but
coming.
yeah, I mean, I write songs probably scheduled 4 days a week. I go in and write. Whether we get an entire song, or sometimes we might get two songs. It's never exactly the same. And then also I just write kind of whenever if I'm at home or something.
So, for people who aren't, writing music and they don't do those type of things, obviously, like me, how do you come up with ideas? How do you
It's
decide what to
almost
write?
never the same. Now that I'm a dad, a lot of it, my kid might do something funny, or I might just be thinking about life through a different lens. But I mean, sometimes, I remember for a while, there's a TV show called The Ranch
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix, and they have like a bunch of really like poignant, I feel like great material in that show that you can turn into a song. Sometimes you'll be having a conversation with someone and they'll say something or you'll say something, I don't know, you just kind of have to always keep the antenna up, I feel like. You're always on the lookout for something that you can maybe turn into something.
Something that's catchy. I
Yeah, and it's because it's not always, when you're doing it every day, you're not always going to feel like that lightning in a bottle feeling.
mm-hmm.
Some days you're not really feeling like writing a song, but it's your job, so you go in and you write. And so you kind of sit and you have your antenna up and think about things, or think about a way to say something that hasn't been said before, or a thing that's been said a million times in a way it hasn't been said before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I really like. It's kind of like a puzzle.
Well, I mean, you'd have to like it. It's your job. I mean, I guess you don't have to like your
True.
job. I mean, you want to like your job. Not everybody likes their job. I love my job. So, you know, I just hope that everybody else loves it, loves their job like I do.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I know people who hate their jobs, and I feel like I'm just so lucky, because I think when you get to have a job that you're really passionate about,
It doesn't
the
feel like
thing that
work.
I've wanted to do since I was a kid is the thing I get to do to, like, keep my lights on for my family and stuff, and that's a really big blessing.
It is. It is. But I think it's also a blessing when you go into your job and it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like fun every day.
For sure.
I mean, not every single moment is fun, just like in real life. You know what I mean? But it doesn't feel like a job.
But yeah, my worst day as a songwriter or as an artist is still better than,
Right? Doing something
it
you hate
still
every day.
far outweighs anything else I could want to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Cameron, we'll talk about you and your music coming up here, but I want to talk about people may have seen you before, and maybe they don't realize it, but you did American Idol.
I did, yeah. I went about halfway. So I went to the round in Hawaii. That's where I got cut.
Mm-hmm. So, how was that
But it was a
experience?
really great experience. I'm a kid from a small town who got to go to Hawaii, who got to go to Hollywood for a week, who got to go to Sun River, Oregon, places I probably wasn't going.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly not, anytime soon. And I made some really great friends, and I think that I was a little apprehensive to do it, I think, in the beginning. Um,
Now, did you do American
and
Idol after you moved to Nashville or before?
before
Okay.
I did it, so COVID happened while I was on the show. That was
Ugh.
when, like, when I flew back from Hawaii. When I landed back in Texas, I started getting emails about gigs and things occasionally. That was kind of right when the
Mm-hmm.
initial stuff came out.
Okay. Sure.
But I really loved it. I think if there's someone thinking about doing it, it can't hurt you. Go give it a shot. Go be around cameras and see how all that stuff works. And it was a really big learning curve.
Right. Right. Well, and just right, but to learn and to take that, it's probably stuff that you would never have picked up anywhere else. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, what opportunity is a kid from Hazlet, Texas, going to have to go be on TV like that? I think that it was a really cool opportunity that I'm not sure how I would have had that any other way.
Right. Now, how many people are in your hometown?
That's a great question. It's definitely gotten bigger since I've been gone. Um,
Oh, you left, so everybody's like, "Hey, let's move in now." Cameron's gone.
right, yeah. Like, we have a Walmart now, so we're on the map.
Well, I asked because I mean we are in small communities, out here in Northwest Kansas, and in Southwest Kansas, we've got some really small communities. So, when you say small, some people say small, and it's like, oh, that's not small. But if you're like, yeah, hey, we finally got a Walmart, we understand.
Yeah. We're big enough that we have a Walmart,
Right,
but it took us a long time to get it.
right. It's a big deal when you're in a small community to get a Walmart. That's how you know you've made it.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about you just released your first. You're starting to release your first EP, right?
I am. Yeah, the first single came out April 19th,
Uh
and
huh.
it's called Missin' Right Here.
And if you haven't heard it, you should totally listen to it. But don't worry, I'm going to play it after you listen to this interview. So don't you worry. We're going to play some Cameron
Oh, thank you
after
so
this.
much.
Yeah, well, of course. We want people to listen to you. Okay, so sorry, continue. You just dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just dropped Missing Right Here April 19th, and I wrote it with a few of my really good friends. It's kind of one of those days that sometimes when you're writing songs, you might just be hanging out, and then it turns into a song. So me and three of my friends, Russell Sutton, Lee Starr, and Ryan Rossabo, were kind of just at the house like shooting pool. And then, you start talking, and you're like, oh, well, this idea might be cool, or, you're telling a life story. Like I'm sure this song means something different to each of us, but for me, this song is done summers with my grandpa. My grandpa's a pastor, and I would spend a week every summer with my grandparents in Missouri, and we would go to Table Rock Lake and fish. And, him being a pastor, he has this way of kind of teaching these huge life lessons over just a little conversation. Like a lot of these lessons I'm just now figuring out that he was teaching me then,
Right.
Things that he was smart enough to know that this might not hit him for 20 years.
Well, that sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. And, we would just sit, no phones, not a whole lot of people, just the family around on the end of a dock fishing and just being really in the moment, which I think is increasingly harder to do. I don't know the last time I went somewhere without my phone or didn't respond to an email the second I got it. Or, I think that's getting harder and harder to do, and it's getting more and more important to find time for. And that's kind of what that song's about, just getting back to getting away from everything, being just kind of in a moment.
It's good advice. We should all be doing that more.
Yeah, I think that it's easier said than done, but
oh man, don't I know it?
have really tried to start kind of making time for that, even if it's just 20 minutes in the morning with no phone, to just kind of sit and think and pray, or just before my day starts.
Right, to get started. So April 19th, Missing Right Here dropped, and then you have another one dropping here real soon.
I do. May 24th, a song called Wasn't That Song, which is it's a song kind of my wife and I's love story a little bit. Like we met in high school, very stereotypical small town, we had the same class together. Our first date was after church one Sunday, and we went and got coffee, and it was fun. We didn't do any homework. It was supposed to be a homework date. We just sat and talked for like 5 hours. And then when we got in the car, I had this 1983 Mustang 5-speed that was, the brakes, it was a coin toss whether or not they'd work. And,
right, sure.
Not exactly the safest car in the world.
Well, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, I had this Mustang and I was cool. You're not supposed to tell us all the bad stuff about it.
Right. And we got in the car and this song came on, and she just, out of nowhere, every single word, she knew it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to fall in love with this girl for sure. And that was kind of our first date. And then now it's been coming up on 9 years we've been together, and we have a baby, and that's kind of what started the song. It's the overarching thing being everybody has a song with their loved one that means so much to them, and there's so much built around it, but that song will kind of always be at the center of your love story,
Right, right. Well, I love that for you and your love story. I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
that you have a new baby.
Me too.
That's so exciting. So, I mean, this song, we need to, where can we find it on May 24th? Where can we find you?
You can find it. I'll be posting teasers and all that stuff on all my social media, which is just Cameron Havens _. But the song will be available, and so is Missing Right Here. Will be available on all streaming platforms, all iTunes, anywhere you get your music, it'll be available.
Right, right. Perfect. Now, do you have more coming out after Missing It? Or wasn't that song? I mean, are you dropping some more after that? Are you going to make it
I do.
yeah?
It's basically a song every 5 weeks over the course of 5 songs. So I have 5 total songs coming out. If someone wants to skip the line and hear all 5, I released physical CDs on my website, which is either at a live show or online. You can go to CameronHavens.com and get all 5 songs before they're physically released.
That's awesome. So what made you decide to do it this way? I mean, was there a certain
releasing
reason? I mean, just like,
every 5 weeks?
I mean, is there a certain reason why it's every 5 weeks, and it's 5 songs, and then, you have to get the CD? How come doing it this way? I mean, is there a certain reason?
I think for having the CD, my thought process was, if you're someone who has followed along the whole time and you would like to have it, I want you to be able to have it before anybody else. But as far as, I'm not a huge artist. For the most part, people going to my website are going to be fans that are coming to shows. We're doing this a very grassroots kind of way, and I'm kind of, in the beginning of the climb of this journey,
Right, right.
Which is kind of the same reason that it's every 5 weeks. I think that's basically half a year, just trying to get as much gas out of, or as much mileage out of these releases. 6 weeks felt a little too long. A month felt a little too short. So we kind of settled on 5 weeks. And that way I have content for, 6 months. If I decide to put out acoustic versions, that changes to about a year. Just trying to get the most distance out of it. Making a record is really expensive. And I think you want to try to gain as much traction as you can with whatever you have,
Right. So, Cameron, you're just starting out. You're a young guy, but you're super talented. And I've heard you play. I think you're super talented, super great guy. What do you feel like what do you see for your future? What is your goal?
I want to sell out Red Rocks.
Man, that Red Rocks is a popular place. I love Red Rocks.
Yeah,
have you been to a concert there
before? I have been to one concert there. I saw, I think ZZ Top. I was a little kid. But I remember climbing all the stairs.
Oh, the stairs are, yes.
It's a whole lot of stairs.
It's a lot of stairs. Yes, yes. We all know because it's, out here, it's not that far for us to go to a Red Rocks concert. But it's a lot of stairs. It's a lot of climbing. You almost have to work out before you decide you're going to go.
It's funny because I feel like, it's always been such a sacred venue, but I feel like recently it's really blown up as far as like the Zach Bryan thing, and then I feel like there have been a lot of really, and Jelly Roll, I feel like there have been like a lot of really there have been shows there that have really hit the kind of social media thing, that have been really popular. Not that Red Rocks needs any promotion, but I feel like it's, I don't know, ever since I first went there, it was kind of one of those moments where I looked around and was like, I just want to play here. I just want to get to look at that beautiful view and play. And it's funny because I, have friends who have played there or, maybe do sound for a band that's played there. And they said it's really hard to dial in because just the way it sits in between huge, rock faces and going up, ascending like that. They said it's kind of a nightmare to try to dial everything in, but it's so worth it because it's just such a beautiful spot.
Oh, it is. It's gorgeous. Well, I can't wait to say I saw Cameron Havens at Red Rocks. How about that? I'll come out and see you.
That would be amazing.
You play at Red Rocks. I'll come out and see you. I think that would
Let's
be
do it.
that would
If
be
I
awesome.
play Red Rocks, we'll do this again. Yeah.
Right? Except you have to get me backstage passes so I can see you and, all that good stuff. And you have to get me some tickets so I can give away to my listeners.
There we go. Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Right? Well, Cameron, I appreciate you visiting with me, and I hope that we can stay in touch. And I look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you. You were so kind
at
the shows, and it was such an honor to get to come on. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So if you're looking to hear Cameron Haven's stuff, again, you can find him anywhere that music is downloaded. You can also visit his website, I'm assuming. And then also Cameron Havens _ is his social media handle. Anywhere else we can find you, Cameron? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so. I'm on, the TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, if it's there, you're
Spotify,
there, huh?
All that fun stuff.
Right.
What'd you say?
He said, if it's out there, you're there.
Yeah.
I get it.
Pretty
Social
much,
media. Yes.
Ma'am.
Social media is a monster. Well, I look forward to hearing that new song. I love hearing the teasers, and stay right here, of course. When we wrap this up, we're going to be playing Cameron Haven's songs, Missing Right Here, which he just released in April. And so, again, that was Cameron Havens. I'm Kristina. You're listening to FlyOver Country 97.9 and the Marshall 96.3. You're hearing it right here. Here's Cameron Haven's brand new drop from April 19th. It is called Missin' Right Here. You're listening to FlyOver Country 97.9 and 96.3 The Marshall.
Left the phone in the pickup, put the chain on the gate. I got a cooler full of bullets and a bucket full of bait. All this out in my yonder, and the phone in my chair. It's got the world spinning slower than it does way out there. Well, I've been missing right here, bobber on the water off an old oak pier. Gotta be something in the red dirt air, man, I swear. Ain't felt this good in a while. Hearing that old freight line, smelling that honeysuckle vine, slow sipping this ice cold beer. This is what I've been missing right here. Can't help reminiscing about me and Grandpa. Sit right here with him and listen to him talk. Did a whole lot of fishing, didn't care what we caught. It's been hard coming back since he's been gone. Well, I've been missing right here, bobber on the water off an old oak pier. Gotta be something in the red dirt air, man, I swear. Ain't felt this good in a while. Hearing that old freight line, smelling that honeysuckle vine, slow sipping this ice cold beer. This is what I've been missing right here. Oh, yeah. Well, I've been sitting right here, looking up, just holding back tears, thinking back on my growing up years. This is what I've been missing right. I've been missing right here, bobber on the water off an old oak pier. Gotta be something in the red dirt air, man, I swear. Ain't felt this good in a while. Hearing that old freight line, smelling that honeysuckle vine, slow sipping this ice cold beer. This is what I've been missing right here. This is what I've been missing right here.